If you need any My Team grinds in any mode, hit up my boy Witty for safe, reliable, and the cheapest grinding services around. Hit him up on Twitter. You won't be disappointed. Yo, what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, I'm ranking every single Dark Matter card that is currently available in NBA 2K25 MyTEAM here on this tier list. There are currently 32 Dark Matter cards that have been released into the game in packs or in events or whatever the case may be so far this year. We're going to be ranking every single one of them on this tier list. Before we hop into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 40,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day, multiple videos a day. Would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. Without further ado, Lamar Odom is the first Dark Matter on the list, and in all honesty, I do not like his jump shot really at all. I think it really kills what otherwise is a very good card. 6'10" small forward is real size. The stats and badges are really good. I do not like the jump shot. It is baited. It is inconsistent. I just don't like it. I'm going to be strict on these cards because I'm ranking them against a lot of the best cards in the game at this position. Lamar Odom, I think, is C tier. Donovan Mitchell, also C tier, almost D, but he's got a 6'10" wingspan and it kind of saves him despite being only 6'3". I also love his release and think he gets great dunking animations. You could probably argue him D, and I wouldn't be mad at you if you did, but I think C tier for Donovan Mitchell is where I'm going to go. I'm also actually going to go C tier for Larry Bird as well. Stat and badge wise, very similar to Lamar. He's elite. Also very similar to Lamar, does not have elite movement, does not have an elite release. Him and Larry Bird, very similar cards. In my opinion, neither of them are great. I think C tier is the right spot for both of them as well. Chet Holmgren, I don't think I'd go S, but I would certainly go A. Actually, I think I would go S, because the thing about Chet is at 7'1" with a very large wingspan, or very large player build and a 7'6" wingspan, he is one of the best like Wemby KP type stoppers in my team. He's got 90 speed, elite defense, elite stats and badges, elite shooting stats and badges as well. The jumper could be a little bit better. It's my biggest critique of the card. That's the only reason that I would kind of consider moving him down, but I think he's a great card, and I think S tier is probably the right spot for Chet. I'm interested to see how many S tier cards we have on this list. I feel like Embiid is probably A. I don't know. I might move Chet down. There's only one power forward center that I like more than Chet on this tier. I don't like Embiid quite as much as Chet, but he's also not a tier lower in my opinion. I don't know what I'm going to do on this list in all honesty as this video progresses. We'll see. I think I'm going A with both of them for right now. Embiid, very good card. Doesn't really have shot creation, but everything else really, really good. Pick and popper is elite. Like, he's a great card. Does a lot of things really well. Both him and Chet could be argued S. Both him and Chet could be argued A. I think they have to be on the same tier regardless, though. LeBron, I am giving S tier 2. Incredible defender, incredible fade, incredible slasher, incredible shooter. Do I need to say anything else? No, I don't think so. He does everything well except for shot create, and really he's good enough as a shot creator even to still be an exceptional card. Brandon Roy, his non-pro pass version, which has his release only on quick, not quite as good of a dribble style, and yet still is an A tier card in my opinion. Even on quick, the jumper is elite. The stats and badges are the exact same. Still a very good card. I do think despite not being as complete, he is still an A tier guy. DeMar DeRozan, not a big fan. I don't love the jump shot. I think he's undersized. Well, not undersized, but he's fine defensively. He's a great slasher, but honestly, in all honesty, the SIGs aren't good. The jump shot's not that good. And also he plays a position where I think it's extremely important to have a good jump shot as shooting guard. I'm actually going to go D tier for DeMar. Not a big fan of him as a card in all honesty. Gary Payton is one of 3 elite point guards on this list. I don't know, again, if I want to put him A or S. I think it's really opinion based. The jumper is awesome. The defense on the perimeter is insane. The size at 6'4" can be a little bit of a flaw on the defensive end of the court still. It can. But I think he holds up really well for the most part. So he gets a lot of good contests, a lot of glitchy animations. 95 interior certainly is noticeable there. And the jumper's insane. SIGs could be better, but as a whole, I think I'm going S. For right now, at least we're going to leave him S. We'll see if we change that up. Giannis is definitely S. That one's easy for me. 6'11" small forward is the best defensive card in the game pretty much. And he's also got hotspots for pretty much everywhere. Now jumpers on quick, definitely a better shooter. Overall, really good card. I think S tier is the right spot for him. LaMelo Ball, I'm actually going to go... I'll go A tier for LaMelo as well. I think that's the right spot for him. 6'7", high-level defender, high-level slasher, smooth jump shot. Does not have movement. Does he really need it? Not to be effective, to be as elite as a couple of other top point guards. Probably. I think A tier is the right spot for LaMelo, though. That's where I'm going to put him at for right now. Jason Tatum, kind of do it all, except he doesn't have a good fade, and he doesn't have good animations, and he's not quite as big as a LeBron. He's like a noticeably worse LeBron, in all honesty. He's basically has the same flaws as LeBron, where he's not much of a shot creator, except LeBron's a better shot creator. LeBron has a better fade. LeBron's bigger. LeBron's jumper's just as good. Like, I think he's a much worse Bron. So in my opinion, still a good card, but still B tier at this point. Dwayne Wade, awesome defensive point guard with a very good fade, but his actual standstill jumper is not elite. Now, he is a good slasher. He's extremely fast. He still loads it down at a high level in the defensive end of the court. Still a viable card, but not what I would consider a truly elite card at this point. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, I think, is S tier as well. I think if Gary is S tier, Shai is S tier. I think Gary and Shai have to be in the same tier pretty much no matter what. They're very similar cards. Gary's better defensively. Shai has a little bit more shot creation. Both of them are very good jumpers. Now, Gary's jumper's better, but Shai's jumper's good too. Shai is a good finisher. He's got good size, 6'6". Solid card. I think he's one of the best point guards in my team. S tier for sure. He and Gary are going to be on the same tier. That's for sure. Brandon Ingram is 6'10" at shooting guard, provides real value. I actually don't mind the jump shot either, but the SIGs aren't great. He's not quite as awesome as you'd like to see. He's also extremely rare. That doesn't really matter for the ranking of this list, though. I think B tier is the right spot for him. Not atrocious, not great by any means. Nikola Jokic, similar story. Not atrocious, not great by any means. Honestly, I think he's a little bit lower than Ingram is, just because his jumper's not very good. I don't love the card. He's pretty mid, in all honesty. Not a huge fan of Jokic. Although I will say, I think he's probably not C. I'll go B. He's not bad. I don't hate the card. I don't love the card. I think he's usable. Jalen Green, very similarly to Donovan Mitchell. I mean, great slasher, nice release, fun offensive card, but undersized and not quite elite enough defensively to overcome it. I think C tier is the right spot for him. Wouldn't go any higher than that, though. Jalen Brunson is an easy D tier. That card is just not very good. He's undersized. He can't really dunk that well. He's extremely undersized. And his jumper's nice, his movement's nice, but it's just not enough at this point with how small he is. Austin Reeves, great defense, or great offensively with a smooth jumper, pretty good movement. Not a bad slasher either. Defensively, I mean, he's 6'5", so he's not a total liability. He gets some decent stops sometimes. He's not a terrible defender. He's not what I would consider an awesome, amazing one either, but I think A tier is the right spot for him. I think he's pretty good. Steph Curry is also D tier. Just not great movement this year. I mean, his escape's really good, but some of his SIGs aren't that great. And in all honesty, his release is tough to contest, or tough to green consistently because it's so quick. And he's not a slasher. He's not a high level defender. He's an extremely small player build. He's just not very good. Akeem is S tier for sure for me. I think that one's easy. I would definitely put him S tier, and I would have no hesitation with it whatsoever. Awesome defender. Has a smooth jumper. Even has some movement. Good size. Great power forward. My favorite dark matter big man in my team right now. Also going Magic in S tier. Has having 3 S tier point guards a little bit excessive? I don't know, maybe. But I think all 3 of them kind of have to be S tier. They all give you different things. Magic gives you the size and switchability. Gary gives you the glitchy jump shot and elite perimeter defense. Shai kind of gives you a mix of everything. They're all really good cards, and I think they all deserve to be S tier. I think it's fair. I got to put them all together, I think. Michael Jordan, trash jump shot. Trash. His 100 overalls, best card in the game. His dark matter, not even close. His dark matter is D tier among the dark matters. I do not think he's very good. Scottie Pippen, awesome defender, great fade, great jump shot. Not elite in terms of movement. Doesn't really need to be, though, to be a top tier card still. I got him A tier pretty easily. James Harden, B tier, good offensively, smooth jumper, not a liability defensively, but his SIGs aren't good enough to really put him in A tier. They're just not. And so despite having a great jumper, good push cross, couple things like that, he's just not quite good enough to be any higher than B tier. Karl Anthony Towns, not a big fan. I think he's okay. I think he's usable, but I don't think he's high level by any means. I think I'll go I guess I'll go B. That feels probably about right. I mean, his jumper's just not that good. He needs some defensive badges added, but when badged defensively, he's fine. His jumper's not great. It's kind of like Jokic. I just don't love the card. I think he's fine. I think B tier is probably the right spot for him, but I don't love the card by any means either. Dr. J is going to go S tier for me. Elite card with an elite release, elite movement, elite fade, elite defense, elite slashing, elite everything, pretty much. He is an elite card. Easy S tier. That one's not really hard for me at all. Kevin Garnett, liability as a shooter and doesn't have SIGs either. Not liability. Jumper's bad, doesn't have SIGs. Kind of not a deal breaker, but a real issue for this Kevin Garnett card at this point. I think C tier at this point. I would take Jokic and Cat over KG personally. Brandon Roy is also S tier alongside Dr. J. Those are the 2 best Opal shooting guards, sorry, 2 best dark matter shooting guards in my team. His Pro Pass version has a release on very quick and better dribble style. Overall, he's better than his non-Pro Pass version, although his non-Pro Pass version is still extremely usable. But I think S tier for the Pro Pass B Roy for sure. I don't have KD S tier. I have KD A tier. I still think he's a very good card, but in all honesty, he doesn't have quite the defense or the slashing of LeBron and Giannis. Also, I just think LeBron's jumper's as good, if not better. His fade's probably better overall. Giannis is just much glitchier overall animation-wise. I think KD and A tier feels like the right spot for him. Dwayne Wade, I'm going D tier. His non-pro pass card is just not very good. Even his pro pass card, I have C tier at this point. I don't love that card. Non-pro pass card is D tier. Has the release on normal. Doesn't have the change dribble style. Not a very good card. And then Shaq, the final card in this list. Shaq is so dominant on the inside still as a finisher, rebounder, all that type of stuff. Elite roll man. He is not a spacer really. He can hit wide open from 3, but that is it. He is like a better Wilt and Kareem though. Still cards that are very, very good. I think he is a great card if you somehow did get him. Even though he doesn't have the jump shot still, he's still dominant in so many other areas where I do feel like B tier is the right spot for Shaq at this point. Wouldn't put him higher, but I wouldn't put him lower than that either. So with that being said, this is the list. I think it's pretty good. I hope y'all did enjoy the video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I will be back with more 2K content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.